Okay, so we will start on the discussion of one of the NMATS paper in our school. So we will start with Audit with question 1A. The floor is yours.
My floor is yours. Wow. All right. Quite a grand introduction from our friend Buen. I don't know whether I get good marks or MS. Pray to God.
Surely can.
And huh?
Surely can.
Surely can one. Impossible sometimes. Okay, so let's go. Now I'll be taking first part of taking over Buen. After this, Buen will take over me. So we have to go through this. Okay. All right. So when they say the sum of the first five terms of an arithmetic progression, it means that means you must have first thing you must go through is first you must just highlight lah. Sorry, it's in line like that. So when this is some of first five terms of arithmetic progression means okay, we must know is arithmetic or GP first. So GP normally is all times, dy, and arithmetic mostly plus and minus. So let's say arithmetic is plus and minus, correct? So when they say Sn is the first term, so you must know S5. And then you must know the formula. All right. And they say it's equals to 110. So mean S5 equals to 110. Then after that, they say the sum of the subsequent 10 terms. Okay, subsequent 10 terms is the next 10 terms. That means it's the next in the line. Next 10, sorry, wait, next 10 terms. Okay, sorry about sorry, Boon.
Okay.
Okay, so then when they say next 10 terms, so that means when from 5, so that means you count from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you must count from 6 towards 10. Okay, but then simpler, we just says S15, okay, minus with S5, okay, because they say first is S5, correct? So you count like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15. So 10 terms you have, right? You just count in your hand. So you have 670, all right, 670. All right, now let's go to the working. All right, this is my working over here. So you can see the sum of first term, 5 terms as 5 to 110, sum of 6 to 15 terms as 6 equals as 15 equals 670. So Sn equals to n over 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. So you must use this formula. Make sure your formula is specific. That means if the formula is AP or GP, make sure you know the formula is 2a plus n minus 1d. After that, you substitute the value 5 because n here will be 5. So you substitute n equal 5 to a, you get 1 mark because 1 mark here come from substitution. If you substitute any value, you get 1 mark. So you must substitute one value. So when you put 110 is to 5 over 2 to a plus 4d, and then you make the first equation of this. Okay, you make equation of this first because you will have two things. Like, it's the same thing as the simultaneous equation. The same thing is going to implement here. So you take S for the next one, you take S15 minus S5, like just now I told, for the next subsequent 10 terms. So S6 to S15. So instead of S6 to S15, we take S15 is S5. More simpler way to understand the thing. So we put 15, you substitute all the value, and this one you get another mark because of substitution. And then when you substitute this one, you get this another equation here too. After that, you make this equation simpler. Make sure you know the equation which is simpler to make it a simpler form. So if here is 5a, so you know you can divide by 5. And because 110 minus 10, you get because all these are product of 5, so it's easy to be divided. So when you put inside, you substitute inside, substitute 1 into 2, you will get, first you will get a mark because substitution, and then at last, when you get d equals to 6. Okay, now after that, you substitute d equals to 6 into the equation 1. Because we make equation 1, you want to find a. A is the first term. So when 22 minus 2, 6, 22 minus 12 is equals to 10. So you get a is equals to 10 over there. Right after that,
Yeah, that's it.
oh, that's it, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, so working.
All right. So after this will be taken over by
I'll
Boone.
just show the question, then I explain my part.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so like what Aldeep said just now, right? This part, substitution is the most important part as always. Because you see, when you learn a topic, right, like chapter 5, like geometric progression, we always have like formulas like Sn equals n over 2, bracket 2a plus n minus 1d. So knowing what these values represent, a, n, and d, and putting the correct values from the info you get here is already a skill. So that's why they give you a mark. Because not all people can do this. Only those who take NMATS will know where to put like A is what value, D is what value, N is what value. So that's why you get the mark. Same like here also. And then here it's optional lah for the teacher. Which one the teacher want to choose to give the mark? Whether he apply the skill of substitution here, or if you get the common difference here lah. But the final mark will go for the the instruction of the question, which is to get the first term A. So actually, you see two different working, mine and Aldi, but you see, it's the same answer finally. So it can be done in many ways as long as you reach this answer with the appropriate steps that earn you the marks. Same like here, you see, pi over 2, you sub the values, you get the mark. And then here also another substitution, another mark. And this one either or, because we use the concept of equalization, we make A as a term. So same terms, like terms, we will cancel off. So we get this equation. So that's why the third mark comes here, or the common difference part again. And this is why A is 10. Yeah, so that's the thing. So yeah, now it's 1B. You can do your part.
Thank you, Bowen. That was a good explanation. Bowen, I cannot see the whiteboard.
It's okay.
I cannot see.
Maybe you enlarge your screen or something, pin it maybe.
But I can't pin the thing. I already pinned you already.
Yeah, mine that's okay.
Alright. Right. Okay,
Now
now
1B.
okay, alright. So hey Bowen,
Hmm?
this time my equation I done already, right? So after this you will share, right?
You can use the image you send me, 1B.
But I need to. Oh, okay. So I share again. Okay. You should have told me that I could put all in PDF. Then I could do.
Oh, never mind. I will try to write big on the whiteboard, the one got 1B is short only, so I can write a big one.
Maybe I give the explanation, you give the solution, can I?
Okay.
That'll be better.
Yeah, I write first.
Alright.
I follow your working or my working. Things is the same thing, won't make a difference.
Follow your working, Bowen.
Okay, then you explain for my working.
Your working. I explain the question, then I'll explain the working.
Yeah.
Bingo. Thanks, Bowen.
Okay. Infinity sign so tough to draw.
Which one infinity? Oh, the question, sum of
Yeah.
infinity. I even had trouble over there. Because I forgot the formula. Hey, Bowen, I want to ask one thing. Maybe something you could share. How do you know S is equal to A over 1 minus R, or S sum of infinity A is equal to R minus 1? How do you know that?
That one is a different thing. That one is sum of first n terms, 1 minus R and R minus 1. This one is especially
how do you know?
for
Because sorry, to interrupt. How do you know is 1 minus R or R minus 1? Because when I was doing the question time, when I use R minus 1, I got 1.66. And then when I use 1 minus R minus 1, so when I use 1 minus R, I get the same answer as yours. So how do you know the answer is correct actually?
Because actually the formula is only 1 minus R, no R minus 1.
But why is in some books or reference book is R minus 1?
Not sure.
But sometimes when you substitute sorry to disturb, when you substitute R minus 1, sometimes you can get the answer, like for other reference book. I don't know about this one because there's some reference book they put R minus 1,
Yeah. Maybe can also. Because actually it's the same thing, because you know why? 1 minus R, right? You see? 1 minus R. If you put a negative here, right? Negative of 1 minus R, you will get negative 1 plus R minus 1 then.
Oh, it's negate the thing actually.
Yeah. So that's why it's quite similar to each other, just a negative difference.
All right. Thank you, Bowen.
Hmm. Yeah, so that's the thing.
Okay, meanwhile, Bhuvan doing the question, I explain the question. Can I explain the brief about the question so they can see
Yeah,
from?
can.
All right. So, as you know, the sum of okay, wait, let me change the color because some people can see yellow color. Okay, let's change to light blue. Okay, so the first term of a geometric progression. Now, when we come geometric progression, remember got as plus as a divide and times, correct? So when they ask first term of geometric progression is 15. So as you remember that there's a formula of geometric progression. When the first term, when they say term, that means you know it t n equals to a r n minus 1. So you got this formula. Okay, and sum to infinity is 22 1 over 2. Okay, find the common ratio of the progression. Okay, now the sum to infinity, okay, like Bowen said, all right, there's only a sorry a 1 minus r only, because this is the only formula that is the best thing, only formula in the reference book you must focus on, because the other formulas, the r minus 1 is a negative version of a 1 or minus r. As you know, there's inversion and all those. So now when you see sum of between 22 1 2, okay, now what Bhuvan's going to explain after this is very what to say, something very different, and way I'm going to I'm going to tell you is very different. Now you must focus when they say first term of geometric progression 15. So you just abaikan the tn ar n minus 1, because you know why? We already know the first term is 15. So when we substitute 1, okay, when you substitute 1 in n minus 1, you cannot find the r already, because the r will be r power of 0. As you know, r power 0 will be 1. So there's no use to find r here. So when you know this, you know the first term, so you substitute inside here a, and then you substitute the first term here a 1 minus r, and you put into 1 over 2 is equal to a sorry 15 or 1 minus r. All right, so now Bowen is going to go through the this one for the
Yeah.
whiteboard.
So okay, so you see the question, right? They gave this info. So always when you find any advanced question also from any chapter, you can do this. Always list out the info, because sometimes, right, when you're pressed for time, your mind will go very blur, and then you might be panicking. Where is the info to use inside the formula? Because there's so many unknowns, right, in advanced. So it's better listing them down so that it's like you can see a more systematic picture of the whole problem. Then you can think in your mind what is the following steps that you should do to get the answer. So like you see here, S infinite, there's only one formula, this one. So nothing much. It's either you know or you don't know. And this one also, it's not given in the SPM formula sheet. SPM formula sheet now total is only 24 formulas. So this one is not included. So basically you have to memorize it. No other choice. So this one should equal to this as given in the question here. So we will express this term in the form of formula so that we can put this A value inside here. So that when you substitute A value already, you get 1 mark, because it's an knowledge that you learn from the chapter. And then this is normal algebraic. And then here is 1 more mark. Final answer is 1 over 3. So this is total 2 mark. That's how we do it. Yeah.
All right, as you hear, sorry, I have a crack was. As you hear the explanation from Bowen, it's quite incredible. Okay, as I hope you understand from what Bowen says. Okay, and even for me, now we will go to the next phase of the question, that is question 2. Okay, now let's commence.
Actually, you can give a summary also if you want on the whole chapter 5, just like brief one.
Oh, for me, if you ask for summary about the chapter 5, I feel that you just follow the formulas and follow like the simultaneous equation, focus on simultaneous equation and the formulas of it. Because in the exam, they won't directly tell you find the terms and all. They will put the cylinder has this one. Okay, it is constant increasing, blah, blah, blah. So when you know there's constant increasing and you add plus 5 and all those, then you know it's AP or GP. then you must substitute in the formula. It's mostly it's all a basic concept. If you focus on a basic concept, then okay. But in exam, I did bad for that. I didn't get the answer, but I'll try my best. All right. All right, let's comment to the next.
I do also a conclusion, not to be fair, on chapter 5.
Yes, let's hear from Boon.
Yeah. So actually, like what Aldeep said, I agree a lot, especially the part where he mentioned on the simultaneous equation. As you see in NMATS, right, a lot of chapter can relate to this basic concept, simultaneous. Like you see, quadratic will relate. Quadratic can relate to this. Even differentiation can relate to this sometimes. And then progression also related to it. And then indices and log also, sometimes some questions play with the variables also. So basically, this is all the chapters I can think. So you can see here, one chapter, this is one chapter 3 that we learned in Form 4. You see, it is combining 4 chapters, 4 different chapters, Form 4, Form 4, Form 4, Form 5. So you can see how important this basic skill is in solving even 4 chapters actually. Because they will always like to test on simultaneous. And also, if we talk about progression specifically, you can always remember all the formulas, especially the one that is not given in the formula sheet. So you see, if I brainstorm the formulas, we start with like AP, we can think of Tn is equal to A plus N minus 1D. And then if you talk about Sn in AP, is N over 2, 2A plus N minus 1D. You see, if you do constant exercise, these formulas will just come directly into your mind. I continue practicing same type of questions.
Boon, can you because I can't see the thing that's not also clear.
Wait, no?
Sorry, Boon.
Okay. Can see.
Actually, your camera is far from the whiteboard. Actually, means you must come nearer to the whiteboard. Then only people can see. Actually,
Wait, no?
alright. Sorry, Boon.
It's okay. Better now,
I think you need more to push behind. Maybe because of my camera, I think I should off the camera. Right?
Now it's okay, no need.
You sure?
I think okay already now. Now looks better.
I still can't see, but I hope
Okay lah.
people viewing can see lah.
Yeah.
Alright, Boon, you can send this photo of what conclusion you made so everyone can save it instead, because some people are lazy to write down,
Yeah, okay.
including me.
So,
I just take photo.
yeah.
Alright,
So I just tell a bit more on it. So like I said, the formula should come to your mind. So if you talk about GP, you see Tn is equal to ARN minus 1. If we talk sum of terms in GP, yeah, there's 2 types of formulas.
Sn equal n over 2 to a plus n minus 1d. Sn is
GP, not this thing.
Not
A,
Rn minus 1 over
R. This one, yeah. I think this is the one you were talking, 1 minus R or 1 R minus 1. This one, there's 2.
Yes. That was the one. Then you told to me is 1 minus R is the correct answer.
Yeah.
This is a negative version of it.
Yeah, it's actually something quite similar to the one we use, the S infinity one.
It's true.
It's quite similar. See? Only this part is taken out. So yeah, you quite similar formula, so don't get confused. But this one all is given in the formula sheet. This one, and then this one and this one.
But in the formula sheet, there's 2 versions of it, so
What?
So it'll be confusing because in the
this part has 2 versions. This one,
yes.
These 2 is together.
Yeah, this 2 is good.
Yeah. So basically, other than that, actually got also, if you see, Sn, if you want to find the last term, right, this is the formula. If they give you suddenly a last term of the progression is what value, you can put it inside here to find. It's another simple formula. So one more like that. And also there is Tn equals Sn minus 1, just like the one you applied just now.
Yeah, but that one was a bit different, because
Yeah.
we say from comments after, it means it's subsequently after 10. Correct? The subsequent 10 of it, right? So you cannot use, I think, like that, but I think because it's from S6 to 5, what? So if you use the this one minus 1, then the thing will be S4, right? So a bit confusing. That's I was confused.
Yeah, that one cannot apply for this one. Sometimes that one, because it hop many numbers already. This one is like back to back numbers. That one we can apply.
Yes,
Yeah.
true, Pun.
So you want the picture of this, right?
Ah, yeah, will be better because
Yeah.
people can write it down. No?
Okay. Now can continue with the next chapter.
All right.
The next question.
All right. Let's go to comments on the question number B. Okay. Okay, number 2. So dy dx equal to x plus 2 and y is equal to 7, x is equal to minus 1. Okay, let me rub all so everyone can see properly. This one like Penang flag only, white and yellow. Yeah.
Wait, that one, your working is there, isn't it, for 2A? I
No,
think you
it didn't,
must take which one, how?
it didn't clear this one. Wait, let me try. What I'll do is I will join another account. I'll show my working. Wait,
The one
Right.
you sent to me, lah.
Yeah, I'll show.
I write mine on the board first.
All right. You can hear me, right?
Huh?
You can hear me still, right? Okay, okay.
Yeah, can.
Hope this is clear. Some maybe be like that lah. Okay, but never mind. Yeah, clear enough. All right. Before now we're going to go through is number 2. Number 2 is about the concept of dy dx is the differentiation. So dy dx here is a famous topic in SPM. So dy dx is 2x plus 2 and y is equal to 7 and x is equal to minus 1. Find y in terms of x. Y in terms of x means y equals to mx plus c. So in this order, you need to find the c because they want you to find y in terms of x. Because you must, for me, I study like this. When you want to make y in terms of x, that means what when you want to find y, what is the changes of the value of the x can be made to make that x to be the same as the y. So that's why you times you m and you plus you c. So it'll be very simple. So dy dx to 2x plus 2, you must integrate this. Integration, it comes with your integration because integration dy dx equals to y. Equals to y. Alright, so y is equal to 7, x is equal to minus 1. Okay, find y in terms of x. Okay, now you will see my explanation from on top here. Let me try and see. Okay, let me try. Okay, this number 2, number 1A. Okay. Hope y'all can see this. So as you can see, I put dy dx is 2x plus 2 and y is equal to 7 when x is equal to minus 1. So I will integrate dy dx is equal to y. So integration 2x plus 2 plus c. Okay. So you get 2x squared plus 2x plus c because you normally you just integrate it normally. And then you get x squared plus 2x plus c. So now you must find the c. So you substitute the value of y equals to minus 7 and x is to minus 1 in the equation, okay, and you get c. It is c. So you get y is to x squared plus 2x plus 8. So your c will be 8 and you will get your y in terms of x. So that's how simple you can get. Now, let's commence to the next one. When you say find the value of x, if x squared plus dy dx, x minus 1 dy dx is a 9 minus y. Okay.
Hey, Dan can wait first, day.
All right.
Do 2A first, now we finish first. I do my part first.
Oh, all right. Sure.
So actually, you see here, right? Wait, where's the marker? So see, they give like this, right? Dy dx equals to 2x plus 2. So if you think about it, if you see linear equation, right? Y equals mx plus c. This is the basic of everything. Everything comes from here. So if we just make a random number, right? We just put a random equation. If you see what is the gradient here, what is the gradient in this equation? what would it be usually?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yeah, just
Oh, okay. What you usually be positive?
yeah. So what is the value
See,
usually?
simple answer. Just say positive, you get the right answer. I just guessed the answer.
So
But I got the
usually
answer
it's
right,
3,
right?
because y
Okay.
equals 3x minus 7. So you compare with y equals mx plus c, you see m is 3. So this is how usually we get the value. But now since we learn admaths chapter 2 form 5 differentiation, right? If we do dy dx of this, don't you realize we also get 3? So it's actually the same thing what we learned. Only in lower form we just were told m equals to 3, but now m is also equals to dy dx. It's the gradient. That's why they always use the term gradient of tangent, which is equals to 3 actually. So that's the same thing what we learned in lower form, and now in upper form they upgrade it a bit, just dy dx. That's just a term. Yeah, so that is 2a.
Okay, a great explanation from Buen, our friend Buen here. Now let's commence to question number 3.
B, B, B.
2B. Let's see how forgetful am I. Sorry. Now let's go to 2B. Okay. Hence find the value of x. So when they ask you find the value of x here, now this let me wrap this whole place becoming a war zone already. Okay, so the same color. Find the value of x. When they ask for value of x, that means you must have x squared plus 2x or something like this. Okay, and you have to find the value. Okay, so you get x squared here, d square y over dx squared. That means this is this. Okay, what it means is you integrate again. Sorry, no, sorry. You differentiate again your dy dx. Okay, you integrate again your dy dx to get d square y over dx, and then you take x minus 1 times your dy dx, what over here. Okay, you put over here. It's just like substitution, and 9 minus y. So what it means here, I know it's a bit confusing. So it means here x square means you take the x minus 1 here, you muscle here. The d square dy, after you get, you substitute inside here, times with the x square, plus with x minus 1, with dy dx here, 2x plus 2, and 9 minus y. Y here, do not be confused. Y here is the equation what we got from here. Because y in terms of x, we want the value of x. So we need the y value in terms of x, so we can get answer. Now let's see if my calculation. I hope it's great. Okay. Um, let's go to 2b. Okay. Now, as you can see here, this okay. As you can see here, the x. Okay, I put it x square plus x square d square over dx plus x minus 1 dy dx 9 minus y. So you substitute inside like just now I told. After that 9 minus y. You substitute all inside, and then after that you come onto here. So y is equal to 11 minus 4x squared. Okay. So when y is equal to 11 minus 4x squared, that means you must put the y, just now the y, what the y in terms of x equals to the 11 minus 4x squared. So you get the x squared plus 2x plus 8, whatever value you got just now, equals to 11 minus 4x squared. So you may simplify the thing, and then after that you complete the square of it, and then you get, at last the answer is x equals to 3 over 5 and x equals to minus 1. So each you get marks for your substitution. If I'm not mistaken, you get one mark for your substitution. Make sure to show your substitution. Best you write x is to 1 when minus is 1. So the marker will be easier. Okay, that's for me. Now let's hear from Bowen.
Yeah. So I will start with the 2A first because I forgot just now about the marks thing. So for 2A, right? So when you apply the integration skill, this is indefinite integral because we don't have the lower limit, upper limit here. So when you integrate this, you get 1 mark. This question is 3 marks. So that's why they give you an info here. Because if you get until here, C is an unknown, we cannot express it y in terms of x. If not, you'll be y in terms of x and c. There's another unknown here. So that's why they gave you this info here to put respectively into y and x. So when you get c, you can get another mark because that is involved to finally form the equation here, which is y equals x squared plus 2x plus 8. So this is the final mark answer. So yeah, that is it. So this is 3 marks out of 3. So this is how we show the complete working. So don't skip any step that earns you the marks. That's the only thing. And then for 2B also, right, I must explain here.
Would you want me to explain other question while you doing the question?
Never mind lah. Wait first. We go together.
Yes, about peribahasa, it goes together.
Why suddenly
Okay, my
BM?
peribahasa. I feel in my BM,
Huh?
Okay,
What?
I don't know whether I feel in BM lah, but apa peribahasa?
Why are you talking peribahasa?
Bergaul dengan tebing, yes, follow dari peribahasa. Even though at maths, still follow the peribahasa.
And also one more thing, right? The question in 2B, right? Always when you see hands in an LMATS question, means you will use your answer in part A or whatever the part before to use in these answers here. So always when you see hands, always refer to the back answer. So always be careful when there's a question with hands, because if the first part is wrong, you put something wrong here, this one also gone, everything will be wrong. So always be careful with the question that has hands. And also don't
Okay,
get
but can you explain what do you mean by hands actually? Like
hands is like you use the info from the previous question to solve it.
oh, okay. Yes, okay. Now, wait, actually, that Bowen said, make sure you write this down. Means hence means you must use from the previous. Okay, correct, Bowen.
Hmm.
Okay, so even me also now only are knowing these things all because for me hence do the Heinz the tomato sauce all. Must be a food. I never eat also.
What are you thinking about Heinz?
Sorry. I just want to humor, because people think MS is boring. But
So,
I'm sitting here.
so always, yeah. So when you see this kind of equation, don't get like what panic when you suddenly see d square y over dx2 in an equation and dy dx in an equation. Then you think, how can you solve for x suddenly? And that's why the info in the 2a is important, because we will do the d square y over dx2 of dy dx. So dy dx just now we got was 2x plus 2. So we just normal differentiation another time we get 2. So x square 2 plus x minus 1, 2x plus 2. And just now in the 2a question, they also gave, remember, what was it? The y equation. So y also has to be substituted here. So if you don't substitute y, you will see that your equation will have x and y. And then the question say values of x. And also about the thing about values of x, right? When they put the s at the back here, values of x, you should be expecting two values. Like x1 or x2 means it comes to a quadratic form. If they just say value, you just expect one answer. That's one more trick of the question. So always when you suddenly solve, where you suddenly see you get one answer only, you don't like factorize into two brackets, then you better check again. Most likely. Sometimes the question might be wrong. If they
So you
sometimes
must
they say,
factorize the thing lah.
yeah, if they say values of x, because there's either or, there can be two possible options. But
But
sometimes
if like just now I did the thing after that I like just now okay my one I can get full marks the one or I can't
which
get.
one? The one to be,
Just now one I did.
can show again.
Just now I showed this one I tell you lah. What I did was I showed I substitute all
Yeah, that
dara.
one can get marked already.
Okay, but how much marks? Is it 4 marks total? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, 4 marks. The
4 marks.
question put 4 marks, right?
Oh yeah, but
Yeah,
you
4
must
marks.
do step by step lah. Like just now substitution, so two with answer. Okay, yeah, correct.
Yeah, this part is the mark when you substitute here. Then it's normal, this thing So I go directly to this part where you form the quadratic. You shift everything, then you make it equals to 0, and then this part, the factorizing part. So this is what you should expect in a question where there is values of x, because you're expecting two values. So that's one of the trick But sometimes, right, when you do questions, you have to also think logic, because in the normal process of solving, mathematically you get two values, but logically one of the values might not be accepted. Just like when you get like length x equals negative 17, of course you will reject that, because there's no such thing as negative length. But the thing appears because it can satisfy the equation above there, so you cannot help it. So you have to use your logical sense on maths to reject one value and accept one value. But in this case, it's differentiation, so there's like no situation given to like reject or accept one value. So yeah, that is the logic. So you can find both value 3 over 5
This one like chemistry only. Reject electron, accept electron.
What? Why
Sorry,
can't you
sorry.
select some?
But way to remember lah.
Hmm.
Something like that lah.
Yeah, so this is where you get your marks. This is K1 because you're showing your second derivative skills from this equation, and then substitution, second mark, and then form this quadratic and factorize is 1 mark, and then probably this one, either one is correct, you will get the mark. N1 or N1, so total is still 4 marks. But make sure both of these correct. Like one wrong, then gone, because only 1 mark. So make sure both values correct at the end. Yeah. So that is chapter 2. So you can summarize the whole chapter now.
Alright, so let's have a round of applause for Bhuvan just now. No one round of applause for me because I don't know why. There's no audience.
Give a clap for yourself.
Wow. You think that one will a mental case? Alright. So it's you must understand that actually this motivation we are doing here actually is Bhuvan is helping us, you are helping me also, and I hope people use these things, this information really good. Okay, don't think it's a funny thing or what. No, because one thing is true is SPM. If you know your marks a day, then it's the end of the road, so it's not a play joke, so you want to learn, you must learn it with a real affection to it. Like admits you must do every day. Even if you don't do every day, so never mind, all right, you try to do it a week, or don't do it like 1 month once, or you must try to do a week. If you 3 days, 3 days, 4 days, 4 days. Okay, it depends on you. Correct, Abu?
Yeah, too. Then only
All
you
right.
get to master all the formulas, then you can solve it.
True, and you need to know, make sure your time is correctly. If you know your equation is this, you must make sure you write it down. Make sure you check it step by step, because one wrong, everything wrong. Okay, now let's commence to question number 3.
You can do summary first, differentiation.
Oh, summary. For me, I find differentiation is about making it simpler form. Okay, making it simpler form to find the gradient. Integration in making it more complex form to form the equation. That's my answer.
Yeah, so basically differentiation, right? If you talk about differentiation, so differentiation, you will differentiate an equation. So it's called differentiation. So you differentiate a polynomial equation, which is like such a big equation like this. So as Aldip said, we make it simpler. So differentiation is actually the inverse of integration. So if I want to put it physics way, so this is how it will look. Inversely proportional. So differentiation, you actually inverse your thinking for integration. So that's why these two chapters are related. So don't like mix up which one. Differentiation, you add a power. Differentiation, you minus a power. Integration, you will add a power on the variable. So don't get confused. So you must identify whenever you see a question talk about gradient, suddenly straight away you must think chapter 2 knowledge. All the formulas should come in. And also in yeah. So in the formula sheet, actually, if you see, right, there is no differentiation formula. So you need to memorize also, like product rule. If you want to say dy dx equals u dv dx over plus v du dx. So this one comes to practice to memorize the formula. And also, if you want to use quotient rule, you will do v du over dx minus u dv over dx over v squared. So this is basically the two formulas. And also approximate change is about the same. So it's like this, delta y over delta x equals dy over dx. And also remember the first principle is also quite a common question they ask. So usually first principle, we will add a delta y to a y equation, so that we can actually form simultaneous. So you see, simultaneous is also applied here, elimination method. So when you get like an equation here, 2 from the y equation on top here, this is the first, so you will do 2 minus 1, so that you can eliminate the y. So when you get a delta y equation, you divide the whole thing by delta x. This is the second step. First step, eliminate, then over delta x, and then finally, you must add the limit of dy over dx, where delta x should go to 0. And then you will get your final answer of this one. But you can also notice from the equation given, you just do a dy dx of the equation. Let's say y equals 2x plus 8. You know dy over dx is 2, right? So down here, the answer, when you use this first principle, you should expect 2 also. Same thing. So yeah, other than that, rate of change, yeah. Rate of change also is quite the same thing. So like they'll say rate of change of volume. Whenever you see the word rate, right? Rate means time, means per second. This is one thing that you might not notice lah, maybe. Rate is like over time. That's why you see over second. So you see volume cm cube over time second. So you get cm cube per second, like this. And then you can express it further. That depends on the information they give, like dA over dt times dA over dV, like this maybe. Then you cut off the dA, you get dV dt. Yeah, so that is basically all on chapter 2.
No wonder, Boone, you say that there's no formula for the differentiation. That's why I was flipping through the people. I was
Yeah,
finding
that formula sheets all here.
No wonder lah. I was flipping through, or not flipping through, only one page. What? I was going through and scrolling down and
Yeah.
each point. That's why I cannot find.
Mainly
And-
all is trigonometry only, from formula 13 until 21 is trigonometry formulas. So quite lucky lah, we got those formulas.
These trigonometry fellows are very famous. Must
Of course
be
lah, it's a
really,
big contribution what to maths.
Oh yeah, it's an Arabian guy who created trigonometry, right?
Yeah, you can say that.
History, I passed lah, but I think okay, I know the basic. Okay, now as you hear from Buen, now alright, like just a summary. Now Buen, shall we continue?
Yeah,
Still?
can.
Okay, can we go for the last question?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go chapter question number 3. We're very fast. Okay, Buen, I will show to them and you show to them in the whiteboard.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, now let's go through now very fast. Now use different color. I use let's go green color. Okay. Now they say ABCD is a parallelogram. Okay, as you know, parallelogram means anything that has like this, like that, and like that. Means the side is like that. Means here is A, here's A. If here's B, here's B. That means the side is the same. Here's 3 cm, here's 3 cm. Here 4 cm, is 4 cm. Now they say P divides AD. So when they say AD here, P divides AD, that means the ratio 1/3. So 1/3 here means to get the sign. So that means PA will be, okay, 1/3 plus 1. Okay, you get 1/4. Okay, that's how you get this one. 1/4 PA. So then after you need to take PA tambah with AB. Alright. So 1/4, okay, PA 1/4, negative V, negative V, okay, you get negative 1/4 V. So that's the PA. So you take PA tambah with AB. It's very simple. It's just like building blocks with Legos, you know. For me, I find like Lego lah. So express PQ. So that means express PQ here. That means you take okay. This not okay. Let me tell to Buen to show you about this question. Buen, can you explain about this?
Wait, you can explain first your
Oh,
working.
okay.
You can show your working for everything.
Okay. I hope you can see. I draw the diagram to show to you all. So, all right, over here, first I take to get the PB, I take 3 plus 1 equals to 4. After that, I take negative 8 because they asked for because they asked for AP, right? It's a PA. So what I got was AP. So I negative the 1/4x. So you get PA equals to this PA, not BA, sorry. PA, because of my eraser, PA is equals to negative 1/4 V, this one. So after that, I take to get PQ, to get the answer, so I take PA tambah AB, you get negative 1/4 V tambah VU, PB. After that, they ask to get express PQ in terms of K, this one not. So when you say express in this one, that means you might use the K and all those inside here. So PB is PA tambah AQ. Make sure this is the building Legos are there. Okay. Minus 1/4 V tambah with K, U plus V. K here, the U plus V here is a constant. Okay, where is the constant? Like just now we got from there, okay, from here, if you see here, all right, K times AB tambah BC. Why? Because AQ, as they show here in the question, say AQ is to KAC, correct? So I form a equation like that from here. After that, I put inside here and I get negative 1 over B tambah KU tambah KV. It's the answer. Alright? Answer. After that, lastly, you put for the C to get, you use from the value they give you PQ is equal to PB. Okay. Now, why? Because when we want to find the constant, remember the constant is something 304, 104. So that means the bigger value of this is PB. So I take this one, I substitute inside, PQ is minus 104. And then after that, K, you see, when we substitute here, when all substitute, we mix them together. If group them together. So if U, V, it's like you factorize with the own U and V. So K is equal to the constant. So if K is equal to constant, you get, alright, K, let me clear. So you get K minus 104, K minus 1 equal 1, 4K, and then after that equals, so others you get K, so 105. That's the answer for it. So that is the simpler way as I did. So let's now see from Boon.
Okay, wait, I'm still writing. You can do your summary for chapter 8 also.
Okay.
Inside.
Alright, after that, can I go dinner?
Can, sure.
I got hungry lah because hands-on. Okay, chapter 8 is simple. It's like building Legos, So when you build Lego, you need piece by piece by piece, correct? So that's chapter 8. If they want to find PA, then AP. If PA, they find AP, so they need AB tambah BP. This is like Lego pieces. And then don't get stuck. If you want to see the smaller picture when they ask for the constant order, use the bigger picture of it. Then only you can get the K. Right? That's for me lah. Now I'm gonna go for dinner. I'm hungry. I sing food only. So now let's see your master Boon. Sorry, Boon,
Okay,
for the inconvenience. I gotta go
yeah, it's
eat.
okay.
Alright,
Okay,
so
I talk my part first, lor. Then we stop. Okay.
I wait here or I go eat.
Wait first, lah, for a while. I just talk the 3A and 3B.
No problem.
Okay, so we see 3A, right? It's AB is U and AD is V. So they surely give you an info on the question for a reason. And then P divides AD in ratio 1 to 3. So we have to figure out what they're meaning here. AP or AD is 1 over 3 because it says P divide AD. And you can see in the diagram, right? AP is smaller than the length of PD. So definitely AP takes a smaller ratio than PD. Yeah, times PD. So finally, you can conclude AP is 1 over 4 of AD. 4 is the total ratio of 1 and 3. So you substitute the value of AD in the question V. This is 1 over 4V. And then they asked for PD in terms of X and Y. So PA plus AB, A will cancel off. So you get PB back. And then negative AP plus AB. So this is the final answer you get. So the final marks you get is 2 marks. This is 1 mark for here. And then when you put it in, when you can form this is 1 more mark. Applying the concept of vectors. So this is 2 over 2. And then for B, the info given since it's parallelogram, right? So we do AD is BC is the same vector V, because it's the same direction. And then AC is U plus V. We get from the info of AB plus BC. And then they give in this question 1 more info, right? So we are applying it to the second question. So AP plus PQ is K bracket U plus V. And then we have to substitute AP inside here because AP is half 1 over 4V. And then finally we get this answer, which is we go this part here, we can leave it here. So this is okay. And then the final one, this is the answer. So this is another mark over here where you can apply the concept of resultant vectors to get this one vector. So yeah, anything?
I have no comments, Boon, because I'm very hungry. But as you know, there's this thing. As you see, Boon's is on equation and all those. So you must understand that it's like building Legos, right, Boon?
Huh? What?
It's like building Legos,
Yeah, it's combinations. Everything you combine 2 vectors, you can form 1 vector, just like in physics. Same thing.
I hate physics.
Why?
I sit. Never mind, it's a very long story lah. Okay. Boon, be first.
Yeah, yeah. Take picture first. What I was doing as proof.
I must have bukti kuku. No? So how I look handsome?
It's okay. Just post.
Okay.
Okay. And then wait, I stop the recording first. Must save it.
Yes. Must. I remember last time we didn't save the recording.